Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on EXPH, Expo Holdings Incorporated. Before I go any further, I do want to note to please check my IRP disclaimer. With that being said, unless you live in a cave or a hole or anything, I'm sure you heard about EXPH today. Massive volume and nice price reaction. And for you that watch my videos, you've probably heard me make this correlation before, but it is my favorite, and in my personal opinion, the most important in the world of charting is the correlation between volume and price action. There's nothing worse than when you have above average volume and then you see the price action either going sideways or just going down. However, today you can see way above average volume, and better yet, you had a bullish price reaction. So that shows that there was just complete supply and demand. There was demand coming in, and supply had a real hard time keeping up with it as it went up over 200% today. So as far as dilution and all that sort of things, if there's dilution or anything going on, a 200% move would not be happening, because that would imply that there's excess supply coming into the market. But as you can see, the reason the price ran up so far was because supply had to meet this demand, and there just wasn't even close to being enough supply down at these levels here in terms of being able to fulfill all the demand. So basic economics 101, the demand had to go up and find where some supply was, and up here is where people were finally willing to sell. So with that, I'm going to go back and kind of go through the history of the chart, and then also incorporate one of my analogies that I use quite a bit, that being the weight room analogy for charts. And to set this up, I want you to picture a chart as a single guy who's going to be going to the beach. And when you go to the beach, you want to make sure that you have a nice looking body. You want to have a nice six-pack of abs, some nice arms, a nice, muscular chest, and so forth. But in order for that to happen, you need to hit up the weight room and work out. Charts are the same way. If you want charts to go to the beach and get the ladies and continue to get the ladies, they need a break. They need a break once in a while, and they need to go and lift some weights. You can't hang out on the beach the whole time, or else you're gonna lose your build. So let's apply this here. So back in mid-June, we had an above average volume day, and we had a nice price reaction. So here, chart went to the beach. The next 2 days, went back to the weight room, did some sit-ups and so forth. And then here, bam, went out to the beach again, broke above this previous high. Once again, decided, hey, I better go back to the weight room. So 1, 2, 3, 4 days spent in the weight room lifting weights, and then when he went back out to the beach again, broke above that resistance, and as you can see, the ladies really liked him this time, and just pretty much chased him around the beach for about 3 days. After that period, chart decided, hey, better go back to the weight room. And that's what it's been doing for the past 3 or 4 days. Put in a low down here, but this whole time it was just resting and preparing for going back out to the beach again. And here's the key point. Look how low that volume got during the consolidation period. Healthy weightlifting because you had a low volume. Now if you had huge volume and big red bars, that's a different story, but volume was way below average. And then today, well, went out to the beach after this nice little workout, and the rest is history. Now there was a driving force behind this, so there was a reason the chart went out to the beach today, and that reason is this press release that the company announced. And the driving force within the press release is this number right here, this 1,400 lows. The company will be shipping out to these 1,400 lows home center locations, excuse me. So when you see companies like Lowe's, that's good stuff. That's a well-known company. So this was the kindling behind the fire today. Call it some some good weights, or this was just a good workout that when it went out to the beach, the sun was shining and the chart really took off. And then you add on top of that some momentum catching on, and it literally had ladies crawling all over it today at the beach. And for you female viewers out there, this analogy can apply to you too. Just picture it as a girl getting ready to go to the beach. She wants to go to the weight room, get some nice tight abs, so she looks good in her bikini for all the guys. So if you're taking it from that vantage point, it works both ways. But in all seriousness, it's okay. Pullbacks are fine. Don't freak out. You don't need to go jump out of windows. They're part of the game and they're required. No stock goes completely up. Um, and if they do, usually they have a very violent pullback. So just keep that in mind. If there is a pullback, don't freak out. Now, on that note, I'm going to have to pull up a chart like this so I can show where some possible support areas are. And if you're somebody that's looking to get in, these could be possible entry areas for you. The first one being up here at this high is from back in May of 2008, but this high is at 0.006, so this is going to be one of our first support areas. So get that to green. Another key support area is going to be down here. And this is a high from July of 2008 of right around 0.0043. And then you have another support area right down here. And these are all varying around September of 2008 with the highs being about 0.003. So here are some possible pullback areas if it does decide to pull back. Now there have been some other charts out there that just defy chart gravity, as I like to say, and just keep going up. So am I saying this is going to pull back? No, charts don't tell anybody the future like that. But if it does, these are some potential pullback areas. But once again, I'm not implying that the chart's going to pull back. It could continue to defy chart gravity and keep going up. I do not know. But if it does decide that it wants to keep running up, let's look at some resistance levels. We have some resistance here at 0.008, and then really not really any resistance until just a psychological point of 0.01. So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but just know that the future resistance levels from a charting perspective are formed right here at 008, and then right here at 0.01, which is not a previous high resistance, it's just more of the psychological 1 penny resistance. So hopefully the majority of you caught this when I alerted it at 0.0014 back in this area. I did a radar pick on it and sent it out to some of my lists. So hopefully you guys are now up nicely in the green from the 0.0014 alert that I gave out on it. But if you've hopped in it recently, just know that there is some meaning behind this move. As you can, like I said, that press release is a solid one, so keep that in mind. If you do have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'll do my best to help you out with this one. But we'll see what happens. It could keep defying chart gravity. It could decide to hit up the weight room before heading back out to the beach again. Only time will tell. So thank you for listening.